хотел, я скинул. Пока можно и почитать. Оп, 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 оп. Вот оно. Мечта алхимика. Прочтем книжку целиком. Угу. Так. Внизу меня должен ожидать этот тип. Здорово, корчмарь. А, он внутри, конечно. Че он под дождем-то мокнуть будет? Да с фигов я нарушаю закон.
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here. We'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanush to send that old grouch Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Neuhof? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł dziesnej smutek, do mnie loi rano utek, niech już małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už sejmoj svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich užit. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si umí jako poslední jen. Budeme se bávit a norada slávit a tak ty pal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a ty pal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zejtra jen tu jsou nejden, tak nalej mi hned a skočí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
О, да. Деремся. Конечно, поможем, как не помочь священнику.
Skunda!
Shite!
Иди отсюда. Ну-ка, иди отсюда. Давай сзади не заходи к священнику. Давай, давай. Я тебя и так уделаю. Ох, да, получи. Да, давай. Ух, поймал.
So, my dears, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Да.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Just
Походу.
a step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Черт побери.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Черт побери.
This is wonderful.
Священник, конечно, зачетный.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
О боже. Когда я успел раздеться? Зашибись.
Priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Не-не-не-не, наверное, не стоит. Ну все, я задание теперь не выполнил. И что, это меня походу сейчас вырубит. Черт, а где моя одежда?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Да, забавный вечер.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Черт побери.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Ну, давай за дело тогда. А то я там, по-моему, накутил сильно. Черт, так и не выспался.
What's the matter with you? We have to start mass. It's already late.
Ладно, идем. Открывай эту чертову дверь. Погнали. Я постараюсь идти ровнее, но не обещаю.
I thought he'd never show up. The swill punk.
Look, he can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris et Filii
et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuha. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Надеюсь, получится.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is. Boy has a cheek. One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Фу, ну вроде как-то получилось.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that puss.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penny.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you?
Well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out?
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
If anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Ох уж этот священник. Ага. Ну, хоть в врата я вернусь. Ага, вон оно что. Зараза. Угу. Ну ладно. Интересно, доеду я или нет до ужин? Надеюсь, доеду. Ой, точнее, до ужин. Каких ужас. Мне надо обратно. Вот сюда, в Ротей. Да, конечно же, это все пропало. Надо будет это все продать.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Да, конечно, ты можешь мне помочь.
Farewell.
Опа-па-па-па. У него же я не продам все остальное. Да пофиг. И так пойдет. Здорово, купец.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Да.
May the Lord watch over you.
Еще и поторгуемся, конечно же.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Давай так.
What about this?
That sounds pretty interesting. A little less and I'll be satisfied.
Ну давай так.
Finally, a reasonable sum.
Неплохо. Эх, давай, коняшка. Кстати. О, головная боль. Так. Пожалуй, теперь я смогу прочитать, что там написано. Ага, хрен я уже что прочитаю. Ну ладно. Угу. Угу. Так, неплохо. Неплохо. Так, кстати, это тоже можно на лошадь положить. Это. Это... От морковки энергии еще будет, нифига себе. Так, стоп, это я не туда поехал, по-моему. Или туда. Ну да, туда. Надо было здесь свернуть. Стоп, нифига. А, понятно. Ладно.
Я!
Угу. Это для чего это я делаю? Ну, ладно, хрен с ним.
Я!
Yeah.
А ты что тут стоишь?
I'm glad to see you.
Ага, и я тебя.
Where are you going? To Neuhof. My master wants me to check out a stallion there.
Go to the south, through the woods here.
Thank you.
No trouble at all. Take care.
God be with you.
Ага, и все, типа. Ну, хрен. Попытаться обворовать его не... Явно не в таком состоянии, когда у меня заметность на 100%.
Yeah.
принципе, не так долго ехать.
Yeah. Yeah.
Так, что тут на кресте написано? Ну ты... И что бы мне это еще давало?
The people come up close.
Yeah.
Так. Где там этот мельник? Надо бы ему продать кое-что. Ну, это забрать с собой. О, отлично. Ну-ка, погоди.
My respects to you.
И мое тебе.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that. Good luck to you.
Так, ну, пожалуй, пойдет. Еще и поторгуемся.
Let's talk about
Потом
the
еще у
price.
него отмычки купим.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you,
That's better. Drop it a bit more and we'll call it a deal. Aye, that would do it.
Погоди, 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 погоди. Да погоди ты, блин.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. May the Lord watch over.
Так, оружие мне, конечно же, не нужно. Доспех тоже. Вот отмычки. Штучек 10. Или 20. Так-то вроде дешево стоит. А все заберем.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so.
Я у тебя 20 отмычек покупаю, ты еще хукаешь.
Are we agreed?
Come now, just a little more, and we have a deal. Finally, a reasonable sum.
Вот, пойдет. Я надеюсь, вы не возражаете, если я прилягу. Так, это что я изучил? Изучил. Ну, как-то так. Ну, даже как-то... В принципе, что? В принципе, пойдет. Как раз будет ночь. Смогу забраться и обокрасть кое-кого. Только не навык. Фу. Так, фартануло. Взять. Это мы не будем брать. Хотя зачем так много всего брать? Как бы тоже вопрос. По сути-то чё? У меня вот зеленые шоссы, там коричневые. Хм. По заметности будут абсолютно такие же. Угу. Угу. Надо подумать. Ладно. Колпак чё? При колпаке меньше шума. Это как бы понятно. Это как бы понятно. Ладно, сейчас подумаем. А, что я делаю? Верховая езда, травничество, пьянство. А вот занятие алхимией. Так, а как готовить-то? Ага. И чё это? Ладно. Стоп, с ней видимости больше, чем без нее. Хм. Во. Ага. Хм. С ним шума больше, чем без него. Ой, точнее, без него шума больше, чем с ним. Забавная тема. Зачем я вообще эти вещи брал? Если я их даже не одену. Без понятия. Называется, надо было пострадать фигней. Хотя я их просто продам. Угу. О, отлично. Так, припаркуем пока коня сюда. Так. Угу. Хм. Хм. Блин, я колбасу успел. Так, ладно. Сделаем следующее. Сохранимся. Сохранимся и доворуем с него все остальное. Потому как надо доделать это задание. Так. Ну что ж. Пробуем. О, да. И делаем вид, как будто меня здесь не было. Оп, оп, оп. Стоп, там охранник. Там еще один. Хо-хо-хо-хо-хо-хо. Пожалуй, заберем все. Ты достал там караулить. Вали оттуда, а. Ну да. Так, теперь берем факел. И делаем вид, что я не при делах. Угу. А бесшумные туфли-то мне нравятся. Угу. Ну потом, как только он перестанет быть краденым. Так. Сколько там? 17 прибавляет. Ну, значит, попозже. Вот, шулерская игральная кость. Отлично. Вот. Наконец-то я добрался до этого навыка. Так, туфли по-любому мне нужны будут. Это нафиг, это нафиг. Это тоже нафиг. Вот тут коих надо будет одеть. Он поинтересней. Модные туфли, модные туфли. А, они обаяние добавляют. Надо будет их приберечь. Угу. Тут дурацкая кучность жителей, которые по лестнице не могут спуститься, это вообще, конечно, бредовый баг. Пожалуй, сделаем проще. О, как. Так. Шулерская счастливая кость. О, отлично прям. Так, еще одну книжку можно убрать сюда. Мельник, ну-ка тормози.
God be with you.
Да и с тобой.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that. God be with you.
Так, эту я взял. Карту сокровищ у меня тоже есть. И отмычки есть. Хм. Так-то обаяние добавляет. Хм. черный пурпуэн оставить. Да, пурпуэн оставлю.
Let's have a word about the price.
All right, son.
Since it's you,
That's better. Drop it a bit more and we'll call it a deal. See now, I knew we'd come to an agreement.
Да, мне тоже нравится такой ценник. Это тоже был.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right.
Давай. Шкуры-то забыл продать.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you,
Close. Drop the price a bit more and we'll shake on it. Aye, that would do it.
Отлично.
Greetings, Henry.
И тебе здорово.
what now? Shall we take a walk?
You don't give up, do you? Well, let me think. I've got lots to do right now. But I'd love to go another time. Will you come and see me again?
As her ladyship commands.
You jester.
Совсем оборзела уже. Ладно, хрен с тобой. Угу. косули? Где у нас косули? По-моему, я где-то недалеко здесь видел. Вот. Да. Но сначала...
Yeah!
Тут ее. Так, где тут?
God save. What can I do for you?
О боже.
Good luck then.
Погоди.
Good luck then.
А мне разве не тебе ее? С торговцем Хегеном. Что-то я, походу, не туда попёрся. А, вот она.
Greetings, good night. How may I serve you?
I've got that ring.
Ha! That'll bring tears of joy to that poor widow. I hope you filled your own pocket while you were at it. You're a handy lad. You could be king of all the thieves in Ratai.
Да.
What else have you got for me?
Something really special this time. There's a stuck-up cloth merchant from Ledechko who comes to Ratai from time to time. The bastard claims poverty is God's punishment on us for our sins. I'd like to show him what God's punishment looks like. Now, if you were to lift his guild seal from his pouch, he'd never live down the shame of losing it once the guild gets wind of it.
The mills of God grind slowly but surely, eh?
And we'll help them along. As a reward, I'll get you something really wonderful. Just wait and see.
Ладно, давай.
God be with you.
Я в голову-то почти и не бью. Так, ну ладно, в комбинации ударов у меня вроде есть удары, которые сильно наносят. Надеюсь. До полудня.
Carrots that'll make you and your family happy. Onions that'll make you cry, and garlic that'll keep evil spirits at bay.
Welcome, Henry.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Well, that's not bad, but, for a man of my stature. No doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Rattay?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
But the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can see how that would put you off him. That's enough for now.
Goodbye.
Так, понятно.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
You just going to pretend I'm not here?
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Tonda, the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So do I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back at the winch. Turning it so fast I'd make everyone's head spin. But now I want to carry water at least, since there's some money in it.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
Am I invisible or what?
And what if I told you that you get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did, but more money?
I wouldn't be Tonda the winch anymore. More like Tonda the stench.
Понятно.
Not talking to me?
And how are you holding up?
Not very well, I'll tell you that. I help out with something every once in a while and get some money for it.
Not talking to me?
It's not enough. Especially when the dice don't fall in my favour.
Sure. And have you tried looking for other work?
Hey,
what for? They'll get the mines running again, and I'll have a real man's job.
And what about soldiering? That's real man's work, isn't it?
It is, and I'd be good at it. When I land a punch, you'd think you were kicked by a horse. Which I once showed to a soldier I fell out with over a game of dice. Only, I'm too smart for soldiering.
No doubt.
You're just going to pretend I'm not
I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it at the mines. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
Not talking to me?
I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
If you think I'm afraid of you, you're mistaken.
We'll see. God be with
You're
you.
just going to pretend I'm not here?
What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me, though, so I came here myself.
Be that as it may, I already have the people I need to carry water. And anyway, it's no job for a woman.
I'm strong enough to knock you on your arse, you pup. God be with you.
He's dying.
He's badly wounded. So poorly he's been in his bed for weeks. Unconscious most of the time.
Sorry to hear it.
I already owe the apothecary a small fortune. And he won't lift a finger for us now.
What did you do in Skalitz?
I was at the silverworks, roasting the ore and washing it. My husband was at the smelter.
Oh, Christ. Things got very ugly there. I suppose that's where your husband was wounded? It's a miracle you managed to drag him all the way to Ratai.
What else could I do? Leave him there?
You all know what happened there.
All right. I'll think about it and talk to the bailiff.
And you'll tell him to take me, right? Good luck, then.
Так, а где ты там? Где же эта Агнешка?
Patients in our distress, but deliver us.
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumors. I'm still his housekeeper.
Where's Father Francis now?
I don't know. The last time I saw him, he was going to confession in Sasau. But that was before all these terrible things happened. I've heard no word of him since then.
Does he go to Sasau often? Where does he stay when he's there?
Not so often. About once a month. He always used to stay in the inn near the monastery, so he wouldn't have far to go.
I'll ask around about what happened to Father Francis. I'll let you know.
Good luck, then.
И куда мне его ехать искать? Ни хрена себе.
I think that's all I need.
Here's your change. Thank you. Call again. I'm here at your service.
God be with you.
Ну и чё ты без одежды? А, это я тебя что ли обокрал? Бывает и такое.
God be with you.
И тебя туда же.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young? Nimble?
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, of course. It goes without saying.
Так.
I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, of course. It goes without saying.
I also heard that you need workers to carry, to empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's not a concern for decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home.
Мудак.
May the Lord watch over you.
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come get 'em.
God be with you, Henry.
Так, ладно, посмотрим.
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
You hear about the water carrying?
Aye. I can haul water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm labourer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Skalitz and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all. But they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman? That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal. But they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No. It's from when I was in the mines. digging with a pick.
So you're keen on carrying water?
I've been keen on it since I got up this morning.
And you had another job before this morning, or what?
No. I was just joking.
Так.
Besides water, you could carry... you could empty latrines.
What? Carry shit? That'd be a new one for me. No, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
How are you holding up, anyway?
What can I tell you? I've seen better days for sure.
What happened with the bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
That peacock, what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me. So I shut my mouth.
That's enough for now.
So, we're agreed then? When do I start working?
Look, the bailiff is the one who'll decide after I report back to him.
So, I might not get the job? I'll be in the shit if I don't. Understand? God be with you.
Да понятно, вам всем она нужна, эта работа.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I wouldn't worry. They won't let a source of silver just sit there. As soon as this thing blows over, they'll open it up again.
God willing, I hope you're right.
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners. And at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though. It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day for months on end?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
I'm glad you came.
But it will be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. But what about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
It won't come to that. Sir Radzig will surely take care of things when he returns home. He won't forget the sacrifice you make.
I'm glad to hear that. If that's how it is, I'll even carry shit.
How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
Look, I can see by the way your arm is hanging it's not healed. You can't carry water like that.
Well, come on. I owe money to the Sawbones and I need the work to pay for it. I'll give you anything you want.
All right. We'll keep it between the two of us. You don't have to worry.
Thanks. I owe you.
The bailiff said he couldn't get a word out of you.
Well, he's not the most popular man around here, after everything that's happened. You can't blame us.
Maybe, but if you lot had just talked to him, I wouldn't have to run around dealing with this, and you'd all have a few groschen by now.
You might be right. But there's no point crying over spilt milk.
That's enough for now.
Good luck then.
О, блин. Да ты, блин, подожди. Нафиг мне умываться, он с Витом надо поговорить.
God save you.
Are you here on account of the water carrier?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see. All right?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
That's enough for now.
Good luck, then.
Carrots and apples, picked today to put a smile on your...
Угу. Сгоняю-ка я поохочусь, а потом уже...
Yeah. Yeah.
Да чтоб тебя.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ну-ка, погоди-ка. Да, что тебя. Она, по-моему, куда-то сюда отлетела. Однако, здрасте. Отмычка. Так, где тут получается? Вот это место проезжаем и по правой стороне. Понятно. Вот говно. Далеко меня палит. Это не кролики. Далековато. Да чтоб тебя. Вот зараза. Так я ни одной косули не поймаю. Блин. Да чтоб тебя. Ох, да. Хрен его знает без стрела. Ага. Да чтоб тебя. Что, у меня стрелы кончились? Да ну нафиг. Да, блин. Да, по движущейся мишени не так стрелять, как по кролику. Ага. Попал в кого-нибудь. Ага, эту стрелу я хрен заберу, да? Ладно. Ага, вон он ты. Черт. Да чтоб тебя. О, да. Попадание. Погнали, плотва. О, тут кто такой?
Hear ye, good people. Such iniquities are happening in Holy Mother Church, as if she were not holy at all. We even have 2 popes. What is it about believer to make of it? One pope in Rome, and another in Avignon. How many more Holy Fathers will we have? The kingdom of God is at hand, my children. But only he who holds Jesus in his heart, only he shall enter therein.
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
I've got that game meat for you.
Yeah, that's great.
Hear ye, good people. Love thy neighbor more than thyself. So the scriptures teach us.
Thanks, Henry. We'll get lots of supplies for this. I think we'd better quit while we're ahead. The Master Huntsman has got wind that something's up and the burghers are getting nervous. But you helped us a lot, Henry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come and see me if you ever need anything else.
I will. I'll be with you.
Так.
Yeah.
А ты кто такой? Ну-ка, погоди. А, ты купец.
What else to you, sir?
Ладно, хрен с тобой.
Yeah.
Так, ну-ка, где там у меня книженцы? Неплохо, неплохо. Конечно, вот это поинтереснее будет. Вот это интересная вещь. Ну, надеюсь, я никуда не улечу. Ай, снова повезло. Так, ну что ж. Из котелка мы есть не будем. Сохранимся, пожалуй, здесь.